What's going on, folks? It's Larry, Packmasters Dog Training here. I want to talk about some aggression issues and, how could I say, expectations from people, dog owners, clients with aggression issues, specifically in-home aggression between two dogs. The reason I'm bringing this up today is I've done 6 phone consultations in the past 2 weeks with people struggling with in-home aggression between two dogs, and all 6 individuals have been to multiple trainers. The last person I spoke to has been to 6 trainers. Okay, 6 trainers. Very little dogs, in-home aggression, you know, going at it constantly. Where do I start here? We've talked about it before. To me, it's the most difficult kind of case to work with because the dogs are always around each other. Sometimes you never know when it's going to happen. It's a pain in the ass. It really is. It's not easy when we're dealing with it hands-on. Here's what I've noticed. When people call me and wanting to do phone consultations on issues like this, I don't encourage it. I don't push people to do that. I don't like trying to work with cases like this over the phone. I don't do it. So anyone that has paid me to spend an hour or a couple of hours on the phone for phone consultation can tell you I do everything I can to avoid it. It's not something I encourage. But at the same time, you have people who have spent a fortune with many other trainers and they're having absolutely zero success. In many cases, the issues have become worse. So what I do when I talk to these people, when I start off, I need to know every minute of every day what these people do inside the home, the interactions they have with the dog, everything from where and how the dog sleeps and eats and poops and pees, to every time you have contact to the dog, to when you're not with the dog. I mean, everything. It's very specific. Every single person I've talked to in the past 2 weeks with this same issue, all 6 individuals, every single person has said, I've asked them what they did with the other trainers. It always comes down to tools, corrections and punishment, and obedience. Sit down, come place. Every single one. It's been 100%. Not one single trainer out of these 6 individuals. Now remember, the last person alone has seen 6 trainers. 6. A couple of them very popular trainers. Very popular trainers. Not one single person has addressed the issues going on inside the home, okay? I've talked about it so many times before, guys. Sit down and come isn't going to fix real aggression. It's not going to fix it, plain and simple. Punishing and correcting the unwanted behavior in a very harsh manner is not going to fix the problem. It's not going to. I don't care what anyone says. I can tell you, I've done it for a very, very long time, and it's not going to work. To have true results, true everlasting success with fixing any type of aggression, you have to change the dog's mindset. You have to change the way the dog thinks. So there's a big difference in a dog looking at another dog that usually wants to kill it and just avoiding doing that, because that's temporary, okay? I promise you, that's temporary. If a dog still has that in them, where they're near the dog that they usually fight with, but all of a sudden they're hesitant to attack or do what they normally do, that's temporary. Eventually, the dog's going to say, fuck it. It's worth anything they give me. I'm going to take this dog out. I promise you, it's very temporary. So when we deal with these cases, the only way to have true everlasting success is to where the dog doesn't think that way anymore. It just doesn't have that in them. You know, the dog completely changed its mindset. And so with every one of these cases that I've worked with over the years, I tell you, I've had tremendous success, but it has very little to do with me. It's because the owners change everything they've done up until that point, and they commit themselves 100%. So I'll give you another example. The last person I talked to, just like all the other individuals, I start from the second they wake up in the morning, because I need to know everything they're doing and not doing. Now, not one other trainer has focused on this. Not one other trainer has even brought it up. So with the last few people I talked to, we never made it past breakfast time. Okay? Right up until first thing in the morning, early in the morning, before people even leave for work or anything, there's so many mistakes going on that we spend sometimes a full hour just getting up until that point. But that's a good thing, okay? Like I told the person I spoke to yesterday, if we talked over the phone for a full hour, you go through your whole day and everything you tell me, you're doing everything right, you're doing great, and this is problems still happening, it's going to be a son of a bitch. What do we do? How do we fix it? That's kind of tough. But when we start talking and you tell me all these things that you're doing and it's wrong, and it doesn't make people bad people, they just don't know. You know, most dog owners do a lot of things wrong. But when you're doing so many things wrong, it makes it a lot easier. Because when we stop those bad habits and replace them with good habits, the dogs start changing immediately. Okay? It doesn't take time. Dogs don't need time. They're not like us. They're much better than we are. The second we change, they change. But the issue is, how you live with your dog dictates how your dog lives with you. Okay? So if you're doing everything wrong inside the home, you could forget about taking care of these serious issues. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. All right? So normally when I focus on this stuff, that's where I put all the time into, because the dogs are with the owners, not with me. So I have to educate the owners as much as I can to and get rid of all the bad habits and add a lot of good habits. Now, as far as obedience goes, of course we do obedience, but that's easy. You know, that's maybe 20% of the equation, if that. You know, anyone can teach a dog down, sit, come, place, you know, all healing. That's part of it. Definitely part of the program. But we could fix these dogs without ever addressing that, without any obedience. Now, people will say things about that. But here's the thing, folks. The people who say that's obedience fixes everything, these are the same people that are failing these dogs and failing these people. And it comes down, you know, a lot of trainers just don't know. They don't have that ability. There's nothing wrong with that. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. Other trainers are too arrogant to ever admit that they can't handle a situation. Okay, they're always going to blame the owners. Okay, back to tools. All of these dogs have been on prong collars and e-collars. A lot of them on really shitty, low-budget, crappy e-collars that are bought on Amazon or at Petco or something. That's a problem too, okay, guys? Tools are not going to fix a dog's mind. It's not going to fix the dog up in the head and change the mindset and eliminate these bad behaviors. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So the route that I take with these people is, like I said, I address every waking minute and sleeping minute of what these people are doing with these dogs. I have to know everything, because that's where I'm going to find the mistakes. Then we do obedience. Of course we do. Okay. I do the obedience like I do with any other dog. We do e-collar training. We condition the dogs the proper way. I'm not addressing the bad behaviors with corrections with any kind of tool whatsoever. I just don't do it. But yet, I'm having more success over the phone than a lot of folks are having in person. And that's not because I'm better than anyone else. They're just focusing on the wrong thing, guys. They're focusing on the wrong things. So if you're a dog owner or a dog trainer and you're struggling with any type of aggression, whether it's human aggression or dog aggression, dog-on-dog aggression within the same home, again, that's the toughest, you have to look a lot deeper, guys. Stop trying to eliminate the bad behavior in a temporary fashion. You have to change a dog's mindset. And that takes some work. Okay, that takes some work. That needs to come from you, the owner, not the dog trainer. Okay, that dog has to have all its trust in you. That dog has to understand that you can control everything in its life, and everything good comes from you. Has to happen. You have to address those behaviors. You have to start learning how to read your dogs. When they give you a little sign that shit's about to break loose, that's where you need to be stepping in. Not once the dogs are on the ground having a hold of each other. It's too late at that time. it's too late. So these are things that we have to teach dog owners, all right? It's tough. It really is, guys, and I don't like these phone calls. I do. I have a phone call with clients before they pay for a phone consultation, not trying to talk them out of it, but I let them know just how difficult this is to do over the phone. It's not something I encourage, but if people insist, I'm going to do it. And we've had really, really good success. But again, it's because you can usually pinpoint all the errors that were never addressed by other trainers. That's where you're going to have your success, guys. You got to stop focusing on tools and punishment. You got to do it. You got to do, there's so much more to dog training than that. And when you do dog training right, you're going to find yourself worrying a lot less about tools and punishment. You hear me? Peace.